tutti, benvenuti al nostro video di slow fashion, spero che tutto va bene. Oggi parliamo delle tendenze della moda primavera-estate per 2022, però dal punto di vista italiano. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the rest of the video in Italian, however, today's topic is spring-summer trends for 2022 from an Italian perspective. I do this because I love the Italian culture. Both of my parents are Italian, so doing this research from an Italian perspective also, you know, selfishly forces me to practice my Italian. If slow fashion and choosing creativity instead of consumption sounds like your jam, hit subscribe below. You can also find me on IG. I will leave that here on the screen for you. And you can also find me at my live Shop Your Closet studios. It does seem a little bit ironic even to me that I take an interest in fashion trends. However, there are two reasons why I continue to still look into trends that come every season, even if slow fashion is my primary interest and that I don't like to have my style dictated to by trends. Those reasons are, number one, I like to understand and get ideas on how I can restyle the pieces already in my closet to make them feel more fresh and current. And the second reason why I still continue to keep an eye on trends is so that I can have an idea of what might be coming down the pipe, either secondhand or new, that is actually a classic to me. If there are shapes and silhouettes or colors that really suit me and my personal style, those are my classic pieces. Knowing that there will be more of them available on offer will allow me to choose more carefully items that I will hopefully have in my closet for years and years to come. As with all of my videos, take these points with a grain of salt. These are the trends that, after a bit of research, I found were the most prevalent from an Italian perspective, but of course, everyone's gonna have an opinion on this. I divided my research into three main sections and chose the themes that I found were the strongest over all three. So I looked at the Italian runway shows and designers. I also looked through Italian publications, as well as Italian retailers that I like or have recently discovered and how they are merchandising their new spring collections to see if there was any crossover between these three levels of fashion. One of the biggest trends that I saw was a focus on bright colors and mixing them either in a color blocked effect or wearing them monochromatic. I read a really great article in Vogue Italia about how this focus on brights, like big saturated colors, almost like vitamin C, orange, yellow, this beautiful sky or sea blue, and a lot of really rich emerald greens as well popped up. And this use of really bright optimistic color was a way of sort of counteracting a lot of the scary times that our globe has been experiencing. And I thought that was a really nice perspective from Italian designers and really a lot of designers for the spring-summer season. It's kind of nice to inject a little bit of optimism into your daily life through bright colors that can just cheer you up. We saw these bright colors worn completely head to toe, a monochromatic effect, but also color blocked and in a really cool complementary way, like oranges and pinks, and almost a more subtle way as well, like something like an orange and brown or a pink and brown. So there are really multiple ways that you could interpret this bright trend. And of course, if you're not someone who likes brights, myself included, it can just be nice to inject a bit of personality via some accessories, maybe like a scarf that you've had for a long time, or a really punchy colored purse or shoe that you're a little unsure of how to wear it. So now is a really good time to inject those pieces in your closet if you have felt they are a little bit too bold in the past. In contrast to these brights, there was also a lot of focus on a monochromatic white or cream look. And I thought this was really elegant for spring, summer. I mean, it's nothing new, but it was nice to see these combinations together, like these really big brights with something a little bit softer on the eye. I'll be doing a video on how I would interpret some of these trends in my own closet. I think that's always a really great challenge. The next trend that I found to be really prevalent was The mini skirt, or the micro mini. This is really great. I love a short hemline. I think we've been seeing a lot of middies, and it's nice to see the hemline change up a little bit. We saw the mini skirt looking both really sleek and body conscious with lower waist rises, but we equally saw really preppy versions of it, like with a nice high waist and a really structured A-line, paired in really bold and bright hues, or something that felt a little bit more classic and traditional. So if you like the mini, if you like showing off your legs, I think this can be a lot of fun. But again, as almost like a counterbalance, I saw a little bit of focus as well on beautiful maxi skirts and a very like column-like 90s inspired maxi. And I really liked how some of the Italian editors and articles that I was reading acknowledged both, because not everyone likes wearing a mini skirt, and that makes total sense. The longer maxi skirts really come into play from this undertone of 90s minimal styling. So while a lot of the maxis that we saw were really nice, straight and column and structured, the maxi dress or the maxi length did come in all sorts of silhouettes and prints and colors as well. Traditional tailoring that had a very relaxed and almost flowy or slouchy fit was a very popular choice across many of the different sort of style personality trends that we saw, whether they were in the color palettes or the all white. We also saw that menswear or structured tailoring developed in the preppy kind of micro trend that's happening, as well as all of the 90s inspiration as well. Where I found the focus was Italian editors choosing street style looks, and often in the retail space as well. That's where the focus seemed to be on this sort of slouchy, very contemporary tailoring, and I think street style has had a great impact on this trend as well. Another really interesting trend that a lot of editors or a lot of the publications really focused on was this aspect of preppy. Specifically in the footwear, there are a lot of classic tasseled loafers featured, very cute, ladylike, Mary Janes or ballet flats. And I think this lended really well to the whole 90s inspiration that a lot of designers have been using. It was also seen through a lot of color palettes and style personalities as well. So if you are someone who likes a more polished or, put together kind of style with a little bit of quirk, this could be a really way for you to reinterpret some of those more polished pieces that you have in your closet already. Those are the main trends that stood out to me and that I felt are the most wearable, probably also the ones that I felt I could really refresh and get more out of my closet with, but like I said, I'll show that in another video. There are, however, some trends that are worth mentioning because they were pretty prevalent. One was a Y2K trend. I don't think this is just from the Italian perspective. I think the whole millennial era, things like lower waistlines, butterfly tops, crop tops, all that stuff. It's been pretty popular over the past few seasons, definitely deserves a mention. Not something that I will likely be participating in, but interesting to see if, maybe you're finding pocket-like cargo pants a little bit more alluring. I think the 90s and that whole Y2K vibe might be responsible for that. Another really interesting micro trend was this like party, glam, evening vibe. Very prevalent on the Italian runways, a lot of sheer, sparkly sequins that goes with that bodycon sort of mini silhouette that we saw. Could be kind of fun. Again, not so much up my alley, but definitely worth a mention. And then you have some usual suspects for spring, like pastels. Not a surprise there.
They're showing a lot of florals right now, so I was thinking I could
Florals? For spring. Groundbreaking.
But what I found really interesting was animal prints in their most classic form, which I thought was great because I think an animal print can be a true classic that never goes out of style. We see this repeating on the runways very often, so it was kind of nice to see it pop back up for this season. And finally, there was a really interesting like biker sort of rock and roll vibe that some of the Italian editors really like to focus on, like the different silhouettes and colors of moto jackets and like a rougher edge to certain runway shows, which I thought was really interesting. Kind of an opposite take on spring. We normally see those rougher edges and heavier textures for fall winter, so thought that one was worth mentioning as well. So that is what I have for you today. Short and sweet, and I am excited to shop my closet for some of these trends. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you liked it or if you learned something new, and if you did, give it a thumbs up or hit subscribe. Don't forget to grab a ticket to my next live Shop Your Closet studio. I will also be giving out a free Spring/Summer 2022 trend report that goes a little bit deeper and gives some more perspective on what I think is actually very wearable for the season. So I'll leave all the details for you in the description box below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. It always means a lot. I'll see you in the next slow fashion video. Ciao!